I used to always think that I am one of the best entrepreneurs. When I started my first company as an entrepreneurship drive. That was a very amazing thing, a most successful story. But I was wondering, something was missing in my journey, the farming. Whenever I used to go to my hometown, I used to always think about farming. I used to always watch people. Early in the morning at 4 o'clock, they used to wake up, go to the farming and come back and do a lot of work there. I thought farming is something that a passionate person, somebody has to take it over. None of the people today are not interested in the farming. So 4 years back, after my successful journey of my IT company, which we're talking about, the technologies which I was mentioning here, we all hear about many technologies other than agri-tech. Agri-entrepreneurs are not there. So I felt that something has to be done here, and my journey started in a very different way. Is one unsung entrepreneur. Who is that guy? I really wanted to go and find out who is that guy. He never has any resources to get it across. He tries all the way very hard to get the things done from different places. That all with my personal experience, I found that this is the thing. The capital money. When you talk about a farmer, he's not clear about the capital money. Where does he get money? Where does he borrow money? Who is going to lend him money? There's so many things that which he has to think about it. When you think about, he has sleepless nights. And more importantly, he's not clear whether something good happens at his farm, maybe a wild boar or something comes in the night in his field and everything spoils over there. Or probably when the cultivation is ready, maybe somebody, the theft happens at his farmhouse. And which are very, very common, and none of us are aware of that. Weather conditions. You talk about that. We all hear about it. Like all of a sudden, today we all know about the onion prices have risen up. Why? Because Maharashtra had rains over there, the entire cultivation has gone back and finished. We are back again to square one with onion prices very high. So no, weather conditions are not clear. With all these issues, the farmer is still working. And the output of the livelihood. It's only which the farmer survives, whatever the output which comes from the place, is actually waiting that to come out. And we, all of us, are waiting to eat that food. And that one person is this farmer. He's one guy, is called as unsung entrepreneur. I feel so proud. No, he's one man who's taking all the risk in his life and coming back and battling himself to give that small amount of food for all of us which you are eating today, right from your samosas, your chai, or whatever you have done today. Now I've gone back to study this more importantly, how these trends happening at the place. If you look at those trends across, are very clear, visible. The services sector, which we are all carried away by the IT sector services, which were booming up. Why? Because the information technology was started taking forward. Because the whatever we learn in the colleges, schools, the rest of the world which is actually gathering us, everything was going toward the services side. Now looking at the industry side, there's not much industry revolution which has happened actually. It's become stagnant. It's everywhere. When you look at that place, it's stagnant. Because again, there are no innovations. And unfortunately, is one place where the agriculture is a loser. And none of us are bothered about it. This is what actually was bothering to many of us. We should always bother about this because this is where is very important in today's era. Now there are a lot of trends in agriculture. I was started looking at it. What are those important trends? If you look at those, the India map, the 3 things which I'm talking about to you, where the farming land has been reduced to such an extent where earlier people used to have heavy lands today. Today, what we realize is 85% of the farmers are the farmers who own 1 acre or 2 acres, the entire India. And whereas 15% is the farmers who are owning nearly 10 to 15 acres, 5 acres, more than 5 acres. So the entire community, when you look at that place, slowly started decreasing from the place there. And that is where is the most alarming situation which I felt when I started realizing the statistics that this is one important thing. Because by 2030 or 2050, we're going to be a 1.5 billion population, and 41% of our people will not have much food because of the resources which are able to tell us very clear-cut information over there. And there is no arable land where we can cultivate it. And whereas this, when you started thinking about this more data, the lands are getting shrunk, and more farmers today are now wanted to come out. When the survey was done, every day 2,000 farmers are willingly to come out, and they're coming out of the farming land and going out to do some other area because they felt the agriculture is not the way that they should be doing it. Now, the only thing that which I saw was the fellows who are actually people who are having 1-2 acres are still fighting around their livelihood. There's some people in the agriculture which you really see, the 5 acres, 10 acres are still able to make little money. This gave me something as an entrepreneur. I felt that I should do something more on the side. So if I have any war, the next case, if you are going to have a war, there were 2 wars which I think. It's one for the water, which already we are seeing right from Israel. You always see that they're fighting for water, and again for the food. The entire community, the entire globe will go to strive hard, and these are the 2 wars going to happen. Be aware to all of you people. Now, due to some of the reports which clearly indicates, this is a national statistics report, which is a reality, which says like most of the people, like you can think about it, that are committing suicides. We always hear in the newspaper, we just read it and keep aside. Why are they committing suicide? What are those problems? At least I thought some people should change it, and I thought I should change myself, and I took that destiny to move towards agriculture. If this trend goes this way, I'm sure you all have to be worried that after some time, we all have to depend upon the foreign countries for food. Because you look at this today, the real estate nearby Hyderabad city and most of these urban cities where there were lands where the farmers used to cultivate some of the foods are being gone into the real estate, and people are moving towards out of the agriculture. This is a very alarming situation. So I felt no farmers, no food, no future. Now I came back, I said, welcome to the reality. So I had money as an entrepreneur. I went around the place and bought a land of 50 acres. Thought I will do something. I'm giving today here, standing in front of you, the real experience to you. To find out what agriculture the farmer actually does, what does he feel across. So I felt that I could be able to do and find out all the loopholes and set across whatever things are going bad in agriculture, I should set right. Because whatever the knowledge pool that I've gained through my academic studies, with my people around the place, my family, and the peer groups who actually encouraged me to take this opportunity. So though most of them were against it, but the reality was entirely different. This is my own story, that the commitment in my city, because I was neither able to give my time to the entire agriculture land, nor at the city which I am bothered about my children who are actually studying here in Hyderabad and moving on the place in the city. That was a big challenge for me. So I'm not able to give it time to the place. And I thought somebody was telling me, hiring a person to look out to the field. Trust me, I can hire a pilot or an astronomer to go to Mars, but you cannot hire a person to work in the farm. This is the reality. I have tried all the ways. You cannot get a person who actually is well trained, who can look after your farming, or who has got an absolutely knowledgeable idea where you can hire people. And nobody has been taught in the colleges or schools about hiring a person there. So that was a major difficulty. I couldn't hire anybody, though I had land, money, everything with me, but I could not able to manage. The most important was the ways to governance, because it is not an easy job. When I talked about the unsung entrepreneur, he's a man who's gone through all those things, and I have gone through all those things. So you have no way, no clue how to govern the entire thing. Output from the field. That was an amazing story. When I actually went and hired people, I said I had 30 acres out of 50 acres, I said I'll go for this seed. And somebody had asked me to buy almost for 90 acres worth land seeds. I was surprised. I said, why should I buy 90 acres land seed? They said, like, you're not sure which seed is going to be healthier seed. So you need to experiment it. I never knew that seeds has got this problem. You know, I only heard about as you sow, so shall you reap. But that was exactly went wrong here. It was not the same true story. The story was like, you know, I had no clue what I was buying across. So the methodologies of farming, I had no clue, no idea. Because that is something that which I really had no clue. But still, I said something was going wrong. Then, as the earlier speakers were talking about, there are two things, like, you know, every time I went to one of the inspirational talk, somebody spoke about saying that for every problem, there are two solutions. I felt very nice, very excited. What are those two solutions? Either you have a problem, you have to worry, cry, forget it after the rest. Or you take action on it. The two things. For every problem. And this is a true thing which I really felt in my life. Second thing is, either you run away after the problem or you participate. The same thing in Hindi, we got bhag lo is run away, or bhag lo, you can always participate in the problem. So the two things which actually realized that something I should not take back. This is where I came back to my city, and I felt that there is a farming to be done. I heard about hydroponics, soilless farming, vertical farming. What is this about, all this entire story? So I went back and heard about hydroponics and started researching it. When I started researching more on this, I went to a place in India where a lot of people tried hydroponics and failed. So I went to the people who actually failed on hydroponics and understood why this technology failed. Where was the lacuna which is actually happening there? Because most of the people, you know, we have one sentence in our mind. We love to read a book called I Am a Successful Man, a successful story, a successful book, but we never learn or take one single step to read how I failed. We don't like to read about failures. We don't like to look at that something bad happened. We don't like to learn the place. So this is what I felt I should look about hydroponics. So I started working more on hydroponics. Then I realized in hydroponics, we only have to consume 5%, where if I have to use 100% of water there, within 5% I can cultivate it. And more food I can produce in a small area. So I went back and I tried. I had taken a 2,000 square feet area in one of the city, where in the urban area, and started building a small hydroponics farm, which was very capital intensive. But still I said, let me see whether I can try it out. And found out what are the loopholes, which actually how people fail, and learn these factorial things and brought it back into the system and started working on that place. So here I realized a lot of people, urban people today are talking about the food, you know, the healthiest food. Everywhere you go to, you fit me to your gyms and every place you go talk about to you. People are talking about nutrition, and today the media, what you see in every place, Facebook or other places, Twitter, people are talking about health and health. So urban population are still catching up the place here. So when you're talking about millets, the Jawhar roti, we call Janorata very famously in Telugu here, nobody used to eat. It's only the below category people used to eat the Jawhar roti. Today, Jawhar roti is considered as a superfood. So there's an institution here. I went to the institution called Millets Institution, Indian Institute of Millets Research Organization, where there's huge setup they have built up. It was amazing thing. So superfoods are carrying up today healthy foods across. So there, I can cultivate more food. So I realized when I could not do in 50 acres land, in 2,000 square feet area on the terrace which we built, I could be able to produce in 28,000 plants, leafy vegetables, and I produced 4.5 tons of leafy vegetables there. That was a successful story. And I had the technology which we have to help them and understand the plant's needs and IoT. So I designed an IoT technology. When does the actual nutrition goes into the water, and when the plant can tell with your mobile application phone saying that we need a nutrition, we need food for these plants. So this, I could able to do it, the entire thing, and use the technology into this area. My entire thought process about agriculture had changed because my mindset was not clear, because I was not at the ground reality when I took 50 acres land, but at the urban level, I could able to succeed and show that I can able to produce it. Unfortunately, the entire world was started looking at me that the successful story was happening at hydroponics, and we also been selected by Y Combinator. This was one of the successful stories which has happened over there. Now this is the farm. It looks like very exciting, and leafy vegetables, high nutritional value, no contamination, no pollution, nothing, and people love to eat those food. People are able to come, walk inside and take a food. This is one success which I wanted to show, to call it as urban Kisan, which you were talking about urban Kisan as a farmer. Everybody should become an urban Kisan. So I designed a small kit, which kits are being sold for hydroponics as kits, where 36 to 46 to 130 plants can be grown in your own terrace, and those started selling them, and people started buying those things. So the success story happened over there. And you see, then I realized a lot of things to be done in agri-tech, which was actually missing in the place. So agri-tech, then I went back, started to study, where a lot of companies are giving solutions through satellite. Like there were companies called Satchu, many companies across India and globe, there were many companies to give you what land actually you can consume, how much is the land water available there in the water, and what crop you can do it across you. The entire thing is available there. This I could able to see it there, and the generation needs the entire combination about this thing. Then the drones, the fertilizers can put over there and can sprinkle without any interference, and a lot of people can work on the place. So the technology can be driven a lot of things here. Now, I understood that a lot of agri-tech which was missing, and went around the places, who are those guys who were actually working on agri-tech? So the missing thing, I found out that these are organizations which I went and met every organization which is actually spread over there. I went to ICRISAT, which is right here in your place, and working on crops, different crops, how they do it across, which is far easy to go and study there. And all these organizations which I mentioned here, shown across to here, which is again called as Farmer Producer Company, where the farmers, the youngsters which are coming from the villages, they're coming together and farming as a group and taking the land, and they're cultivating as 50 acres and 100 acres land in a big way. The entire success story is happening over there. Then there is something called Jivika, which I went to Bihar. I was so surprised to see women and girls working on that, and World Bank has funded them almost 150 crores rupees, one small area. That was surprising to me. That means most of the things that I realized, there's no proper education on the agri-tech side, and people don't feel that there is no proper money, no glamour, so people tend to forget those things. So this is the organizations which are felt, and a lot of incubations are happening in these areas, and I was surprised to see that government is coming forward to fund you money to go and do work. And state governments, today the governments actually built based on the voting bank, and most of these farmers who vote actually, they do a lot of schemes. So agriculture minister is sometimes actually kept as the chief minister or the top position man. They look at those guys because vote bank doesn't do that. So there is a lot of benefits to the people. So you can see the different states, our own states, neighboring states, giving such number of schemes, including giving their a lot of insurance companies to work in the place. So what I'm going to do right now, I realized that something has to be done in this area. So one area that I felt like we need to go to create more of agri entrepreneurs. We can start thinking about them and bring them a technology-driven system, which I can go back to all these technology companies that I mentioned over there, right from ICRISAT to Millets organization, a lot of things that people are doing over there. Then we need to start encouraging people, the youngsters who get there. And I realized that in school, we can go back and start a curriculum, and we can tell them in one batch, like, how important is agriculture important about it to you. And most surprisingly, I saw the people who are actually from the agri-tech institutions who have done their PhDs are going again towards an IT technology. We should bring them back, and some schemes has to build up, and the schemes are absolutely visible. And all these things, any engineering background, we can think about getting back to agriculture side. And a lot of empowerment, technology to build up the entire story. And more importantly that I see that the media, the social media which is there, we need to show those people. Always I see the farmer is, with the torn cloths, able to do nothing there. And when you go back and see, many companies in Australia, a farmer looks far better than like a James Bond hero. So we should bring back those things back again to agriculture and show them that we can do it. And it's possible only the young generation which is standing here, sitting right in here, thinking about 90, one time come back and think about agriculture. I'm sure this is going to solve all the problem to everybody, to every one of us. Thank you.